Living things need energy to do work. The energy that humans and animals need comes from food. Foods fuels the body cells with the energy they need to operate. But the food that living things take in is a complex material. For the food to release energy and provide nourishment, it must be broken down into smaller pieces that the body can absorb and utilize. The various types of food, like rice, meat, fruits, and vegetables, are not in a form that the body can utilize. They should be changed into smaller molecules that the blood can absorb and carried to all the cells comprising the body. How are these food materials simplified? What chemical reactions bring about the change of food, a complex material, into its simplest form? Let's watch out on this video lesson. Let us have a review of what we have learned last time. Matchy matchy. All you have to do is to match the first column on the second column. On the left side, we have the names of the scientists, and on the right side, we have their contribution on the development of the periodic table. Alright, let's check. For number 1, you have letter B. Number 2, you have letter A. Number 3, letter E. Number 4, letter C. And number 5, letter D. If you got a perfect score, then congratulations! On this video lesson, we will talk about ingestion, absorption, assimilation, and excretion. Specifically, we will be discussing about the human digestive system and how nutrition takes place in humans. We will take a close look at the digestive system and the process involved in it. First of all, take a look at the diagram. As you can see, it starts with the mouth, where ingestion or where food is taken in. Food is broken down or digestion happens in the stomach. The movement of nutrients or absorption takes place in the small and large intestine. The transport of food or assimilation is through our blood vessels, and digestion or excretion or the removal of undigested food is being carried by the rectum and anus. Now we have here a diagrammatic representation of how digestion takes place. Ingestion is when the food is chewed. Digestion is when the stomach breaks down food. Absorption is when the intestine absorbs food. Assimilation is when food is transported. And digestion or excretion is when waste is expelled. Now let's get into details. The human digestive system is the system of organs responsible for getting food into and out of the body and for making use of food to keep the body healthy. The digestive system includes the salivary glands, mouth, esophagus, stomach, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small intestine, colon or large intestine, and rectum. Nutrition in animals, just like in humans, takes place through the digestive system. The digestive system comprises of the alimentary canal and other associated organs. The alimentary canal is a muscular tube which extends from the mouth to the anus. It is a tube 9 meters in length or 30 feet. The alimentary tract or canal of the digestive system is composed of the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small and large intestines, rectum, and anus. Associated with the alimentary tract are the following accessory organs: salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Now let us discuss the main organs of digestion or of the digestive system. Digestion begins in the mouth. The mouth or the oral cavity comprises of the teeth, tongue, and salivary glands. The teeth that break down food into smaller pieces, while the tongue is a muscular organ that mixes the food with the saliva and at the same time aids in swallowing. The tongue contains taste buds that enables us to taste food. The ducts of the salivary glands secrete saliva that lubricates food. The saliva, likewise, contains the enzymes that help in the chemical digestion. Therefore, the mouth breaks up food particles. In the mouth, food is mechanically and chemically digested. Food that enters the mouth is lubricated and chewed until it forms into a ball-shaped mass called bolus. Swallowing pushes the bolus into the pharynx or the throat. The pharynx or throat is located immediately posterior to the mouth. It is about 5 to 6 inches long. The pharynx is the common passageway for digestion and respiration. The portion of the digestive tract that receives the food from your mouth is the pharynx. Breathing and swallowing do not happen at the same time. During swallowing, the sphincter muscle relaxes and raises the epiglottis, so this structure, to cover the opening of the trachea, so food finds its right way and the passing of air temporarily stops. The epiglottis prevents the bolus from entering the trachea. So every time that we swallow the food, this fluff of tissue or epiglottis closes or prevents the food from entering the respiratory tract, specifically the trachea. Next, we have the esophagus. The esophagus is a muscular tube through which food passes from the pharynx to the stomach. During swallowing, the bolus is conveyed by the esophagus into the stomach via a wave-like contraction and relaxation of involuntary muscles called peristalsis. So this movement or wavy-like contractions known as peristalsis is responsible for the movement of food. The stomach is the expanded organ located between the esophagus and the small intestine. It is a hollow organ or container that holds food while it is being mixed with stomach enzymes. These enzymes continue the process of breaking down food into usable form. The stomach's capacity is about a liter in adults. The stomach performs 3 functions: storing of the swallowed food, mixing of the food with the digestive juice it produces, and conveying its contents slowly into the small intestine. The stomach has 2 openings. So we have the cardiac sphincter, a fluff-like structure that opens when food from the esophagus enters into the stomach, and the pyloric sphincter, which remains closed while food in the stomach is digested. After digestion, it opens to let out the undigested food into the intestines for absorption. Food, once in the stomach, is further digested and acted upon by gastric juice. This is secreted by glands in the walls of the stomach. Gastric juice contains substances like hydrochloric acid and the enzymes pepsin and mucus. Due to presence of hydrochloric acid, the enzyme pepsin acts on the proteins and breaks them down into simpler molecules. The mucus coats the inner
inner lining of the stomach and acts as a barrier to help protect the stomach from damage, as the hydrochloric acid would damage the inner lining. If the mucous glands were not present, then secretion of hydrochloric acid would form ulcers. Now the food is partially digested. It enters the small intestine. Functionally, the small intestine is considered as the organ of complete digestion and absorption. This is because it secretes the enzymes that change food materials into their simplest components. Structurally, it is considered the longest organ of the digestive system. The small intestine carries out most of the digestive process, absorbing almost all of the nutrients you get from foods into your bloodstream. The walls of the small intestine make digestive juices or enzymes that work together with enzymes from the liver and pancreas to do this. An adult small intestine measures about 6 meters long and approximately 2.5 centimeters in diameter when stretched. The small intestine is divided into 3 sections: the duodenum, which is the shortest and the most fixed part; the jejunum, the middle and freely movable part; and the ileum, which is the longest and the highly coiled part. How is the small intestine adapted for digestion? The small intestines are well adapted for absorbing nutrients during digestion by being very long, having villi and microvilli that increase surface area, using muscular contractions to move and mix food, and receiving and housing digestive enzymes and bile that help the breakdown of food. Villi are small finger-like projections found inside the inner walls of the small intestine. The villi increases the surface area for absorption of digested food. The small intestines are packed with villi and microvilli that increases surface area of the small intestines, which helps in the absorption. The small intestine also is very long. The average length of the small intestine in an adult is around 23 feet. It takes food around 8 hours to pass from beginning to end of the small intestines, which ensures there is enough time for digestion to occur. Also, the small intestines are lined with smooth muscle tissue, allowing for a process called peristalsis, which is the wave-like muscular contraction that propels food through the small intestine. And enzymes secreted by the pancreas and bile from the gallbladder enter the small intestines and break down nutrients, the 3 main types of which are proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates. The large intestine or colon is the next organ after the small intestine. It's about 1.5 meters long and 5 centimeters in diameter. The colon has 3 functions: temporary stores fecal materials, absorbs vitamins produced by certain symbiotic bacteria in the colon, and reabsorbs water from the undigested residue. The large intestine is divided into 3 distinct parts. We have the ascending colon, transverse colon, and the descending colon. Next is we have the rectum. The rectum is located at the distal end of the sigmoid colon. It is about 8 inches long and basically serves as a warehouse for the undigested residue or feces. At the end of the rectum is the anal canal or anus that functions as the exit point for fecal materials. It is the opening at the far end of the digestive tract through which stool leaves the body. The accessory organs of digestion are described as exocrine glands. They have ducts openings that secrete chemical substances into the organs of digestion to aid in the digestive process. The salivary glands are located in the mouth. There are three types of salivary glands: the parotid, sublingual, and submandibular. The salivary glands secrete saliva, a chemical substance that is a combination of watery fluid and mucus. About 1 liter of saliva is secreted by these glands every day. The mucus part of the saliva lubricates the mouth that aids in the swallowing, while the serous part contains the salivary amylase, ptyalin, that digests carbohydrates in the mouth. Salivary amylase breaks down carbohydrates into smaller molecules like sugars. Breaking down the large macromolecules into simpler components helps the body to digest starchy, like potatoes, rice, or pasta. The liver is the largest organ in the body. It is located at the right side of the upper abdomen. The liver performs many vital functions in the body, one of which is the production of bile from bilirubin, a waste product formed when red blood cells are being destroyed. Bile performs two important functions in digestion: emulsification of fats and neutralization of partly digested food or chyme that comes from the stomach. Bile is temporarily stored and concentrated in the gallbladder. About 50 to 1000 ml of bile is stored and concentrated in the liver daily. When we eat, the gallbladder contracts or squeezes to send bile into your digestive tract. Next is the pancreas. The pancreas is a large, elongated gland that lies posterior to the stomach. In humans, the pancreas is a yellowish organ that is about 18 centimeter long and 4 centimeter wide. The pancreas functions both as exocrine and endocrine organs. The endocrine part, consisting of large spherical clusters, is the islets of Langerhans that secrete hormones important in the metabolism of sugar. The exocrine part, consisting of small berry-like clusters, is the pancreatic acini that secrete the digestive enzymes directly into the duodenum. The axinor cells secrete four enzymes: amylopsin, trypsin, stepsin, and nuclease. The pancreas plays a crucial role in digestion by producing enzymes that help to break down the food we eat. These enzymes break down sugars, fats, and starches.
The organs of the alimentary canal are structurally adapted to digest food mechanically and chemically. The accessory organs of digestion are exocrine glands that release secretions that aid on the chemical digestion of food.
We have two types of digestion: mechanical or physical digestion, where food is physically broken into smaller parts, for instance, by chewing. And we have the chemical digestion, where food is broken down by acids and enzymes into its basic units. At this point, let us have a summary of what we have learned. Digestion is the process of breaking down food into simple components that the cells can use. The digestive system is a tube-like system because of the presence of an anterior opening called mouth where the food enters, and a posterior opening called anus for the undigested residue to exit. The digestive system is divided into two parts: the organ of the alimentary tract that comes in contact with the food, and the accessory organs that pour out secretions to assist in the digestive process. The organs of the alimentary tract are the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. The accessory sensory organs of digestion are the salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, and pancreas. They are the exocrine glands that secrete materials important in the digestive process. Food is digested mechanically and chemically. Chewing, lubrication, and churning of the stomach mechanically break down food into small pieces to facilitate enzyme actions. Chemical digestion is brought by enzyme actions on the different food groups.
Let us have an additional activity. Choose any canned products: corned beef, pork and beans, milk powder, sardines, and the like. Take a look at the food label of your chosen food product. Analyze its dietary components, how much salt, sugar, fats, and other substances does it contain. Does it conform to the needed requirement of a healthy diet? Consolidate your findings and present it in the form of written report.
Check your understanding. Question number 1. The digestive process starts in the A. Stomach, B. Esophagus, C. Mouth, D. Small intestine. Number 2. What does the digestive system do? A. Breaks down and handles food. B. Pumps blood throughout the body. C. Helps you breathe. D. Helps your arms and legs move. Number 3. What tube moves food from the back of your throat to the stomach? A. Epiglottis, B. Esophagus, C. Pharynx, D. Food tube. Number 4. Which of the following is the function of gallbladder? A. Produces bile. B. Is attached to the pancreas. C. Stores and concentrates bile. D. Produces trypsin. Number 5. Villi present in the small intestine are important because they create more blank so that more digested food can be absorbed into the bloodstream. A. Feces, B. Lipid, C. Enzymes, D. Surface area. For test 2, we have matchy-matchy. Match column A with the pictures of the parts of the digestive system, and we have on the other side the functions of organs. Alright, time's up. Let's check. Okay, for the matching type, number 1 is B, number 2 is D, 3A, 4E, and 5C. For the multiple choice, number 1 is C, number 2 is A, number 3 is B, 4 is C, and number 5 is D. If you got a perfect score, then congratulations! Thank you for watching this video lesson. See you again next time.